crafters, welcome into Guys Craft 2. My name is John, and I hope that you all have had an amazing week. I can tell you mine has certainly been hot and busy. It's been so crazy. All the things going on at work, just so much happening right now. It's like, guys, this should be vacation. Now, it doesn't help that half my team is on vacation this week. So it's definitely required us to step up and do a lot more. Plus, they decided we needed to move, well, I would say move offices, but they decided at my low level in the organization, I no longer qualify for an office. So I got to move all of my office into a new cube. So actually, what I did is just brought all my stuff home. I was like, you know what? I only have a few more years. I'm not worried about having my own personal space anymore. So, with all that said, let's jump into the chat and see who is here tonight. Oh, it's been crazy. I tell you, it is so hot in Phoenix. We were like 112, 114 today. And for even John to go, I like it hot, right, guys? I mean, but I am telling you, this is even starting to push the boundaries for me. Hey, Melissa, welcome in. Thanks for being here. And thank you for being a channel member. Melissa says, I keep trying to put merch in my cart, but it wants me to pay for each item separately. I'll take a look. I have no idea. I actually had someone that set up the store for me, so I'm not sure exactly sometimes how that store works. So we'll take a look and see what's going on there. Danielle's here. Hey, Danielle, thanks for being here. She is my buddy, and she is also a channel member, so thank you so much. Balloonist is here. She says, greetings from the quilt retreat on Kamano Island, Washington. Nice and cool up here. I bet you are, girl, and I hope you have had an amazing week up there, and I hope you are behaving yourself as well. She says, hi, Melissa and Danielle. Hey, Brian is here. Hey, Brian, welcome in. Thanks so much for being here. There's my buddy, Mr. Quilter. Hey, Brendan, welcome in. He said it's a public holiday, so I'm glad I can catch this live. That's awesome because I know normally I don't think you're on Thursday. Well, for us, it's Thursday evening. Um, so I was surprised to see your name pop up. So that is awesome. And anytime we get a holiday for whatever reason, right? That's even better. Brendan says, I'm so excited for next week. I am too. I think we are going to have a ball. I think poor Danielle just doesn't know what she signed herself up for, but we'll see how that goes. Hey, Mona, welcome in. I already did Mona. Gosh, guys, I tell you what, I'm telling you, it has been a week. I actually thought today, I thought, maybe you should just cancel this. And I thought, you know what? You don't have to cancel. You just don't have to be on, right? So we'll see how tonight goes. If I say some crazy things or go off cue a little bit, you all can go, yeah, poor guy's had a hard week. Who else? Jean's here. Hey, Jean, welcome in. Thanks for being here this evening. Danielle says, everyone's ready for the party. Hey, Raven. It's always good to see you. Thanks for being here. Made by Misty is here. Hey, welcome in. Thank you so much for joining this evening. My Irish lady Linda's here. She says, good evening. Busy at work here. Also a heat index of 107 and humid. At least we don't have the humidity. But in my AC, I'm watching with coffee and relaxing. Girl, I tell you, you have to. My poor AC, I don't think it's cut off for the last 4 hours. I think it just runs nonstop right now. I even told my partner, I was like, you're going to have to do something. I can't get cool. Da, 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 da. Danielle says, I can't wait to have John, Brian, and Brendan all on my live stream next Saturday. So make sure, guys, that you're all ready. I'm going to assume it's 4 o'clock next Saturday because I think it's 1 o'clock on my calendar. So we should have a good time hanging out and trying not to cause trouble. But we'll see. No promises. Hey, Lori, welcome in. Thanks for being here. Gladys, the Confident Quilter, is here. Hello, welcome in. Uh-oh, Mona did what? Is here, and we appreciate you, Mona, being here. Thank you so much. It means so much to have you here. Where do I send my formal request for a steady 75 during the day and 60 at night? I tell you what, it has just been crazy lately. My son texted me the other day and he goes, "You know what? You can have your stinking weather back." And I was like, "Dude, I don't know what to tell you," because he's over in Tennessee. It's just, it's been crazy. In fact, it was, he was warmer when we were in the beach and that than we were at the beach. I mean, this weather has just gotten so crazy anymore. All right. Oh, Brendan says 8 a.m. my time. Look, he's kicked back having his coffee and relaxing on a holiday. How cool is that? All right, so I think I've said hi to everyone. If I missed you, it absolutely was not on purpose. So we will see. All right, so what am I working on? So tonight is supposed to be pre-cut night, right? So it's all about cutting up and piecing out. And we do different things each week. This week we were focused on pre-cuts. And so I decided what I should really start doing is focusing on the quilt for my grandson for Christmas because it's Christmas in July, guys. Do you realize we're closer to Christmas and further away from last Christmas now, right? Because like June 25th, if you follow the Facebook page, I posted June 25th because June 25th is very special to me because that means we're halfway to Christmas. And so now we're over halfway to Christmas. And of course, we've got Hallmark movies going and all those fun things. So, how much more could you ask for? So, what am I working on tonight? I am working on Mr. Ray Steve's quarter square stripes quilt pattern. So, Ray Steves is part of the Three Dudes Quilting Designs. He's the one that did the instruction and came to our kickoff to summer retreat in May. And he actually brought this as a test pattern for us to work with. I absolutely fell in love with this pattern. And so I decided I definitely wanted to do one because I didn't do one at the retreat because it's kind of hard to host and do things and make sure he had what he needed and everything. So I did not get to do one, but I did. He did gift us the patterns and that, and he actually gifted me some additional patterns. So we will be giving a few of these away tonight. Your cover and that's going to look a little bit different, I'm sure, because this says test pattern and that on the front. But this finishes out 66 by 80 inches, and it's all done with 2.5-inch strips. If you've not been over to his website, Three Dudes Quilting, I would suggest you jump over and see what he's got going on. And I think I actually put his link in Nightbot, so hopefully it's going to show up. Or maybe not. You never know what Nightbot's going to do. So let me jump over and see if I can grab his link real quick, because I know that was one of the things I wanted to work on. I thought I put it in, but maybe I didn't. Oh, too many. Now you got too many things going, John. All right, let me see if it'll let me add it. There it is. So Three Dudes Quilting is his website and that. I wanted to work on this. He does a lot of 2.5-inch strips. So he does a lot of jelly roll stuff. So if you're looking for just a different pattern, some cool things, absolutely try to support Ray anytime that you can. There's a lot of good creators out there. If you remember, Ray was on the channel probably about 8 months ago now, or 9 months ago. But anyways, the ladies loved him at the quilt retreat, and we had such a good time. All right, let me jump back into the chat. Okay, John just lost the chat, so let's see if we can find it again. Da, 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 da. Danielle says Michigan's had so many tornadoes this year. Oh, that's crazy. I will say we were watching. I always try to have the news on in the background while we eat dinner, especially the days I go to the office. Because when I'm work from home, I typically have the news on first thing in the morning and watch it for a while. And I didn't get to, because I had to be in the office today, I didn't get to watch the news. So I always try to have it on during dinner, just enough that I can kind of see what's going on while I'm cooking and that, but not to take away from our time together. But that said, we're talking about some of the flooding and that in different parts of the country and that. And it's like, wow, it's just when it's so hot, dry in Arizona, I forget that there's different weather patterns across the U.S. Brendan says, no, oh no, I mean the party with you, Brian, and Danielle next week is 8 a.m. his time. It's 1:36 Friday night right now. Oh, Friday night right now. All right, so it's Friday afternoon right now. He's talking about it'll be bright and early for him when we are together. So it's going to be interesting. We're all on different time zones. Well, I guess Danielle and Brian are on the same time zone, but that's okay. We'll still have fun. Da, da, da. Who else? Hey, my buddy Katie is back. Katie the Greenland Quilter, thank you so much for jumping in this evening. I got to see some of her stuff as she was doing shop hops and different things on her trip. So if you haven't been over to check out some of the things that Katie's been doing, you should do that. She's been all around lately, and I know she's back home, but I will tell you this week has been so crazy at work. I didn't get to look or do anything on YouTube much this week. Zaza! Zaza's here. Hey, Zaza, welcome in. She says, I'm sorry I'm late. I had a spider emergency. I tell you what, guys, it's so funny. So we're looking to buy land. So we did that last weekend. We found one piece of land that would probably work for us. I think it was 5 acres. But it just, the way it's set, it was kind of too close to neighbors, and I realized it was going to be a little far from groceries and that, because I want to be rural, and I want to be out, and I want to be away, but yet I still want to have some conveniences. And this was just going to be a little too far for me to feel like I could be convenient, but we could make it work. Then before we left, we found another 8 acres that I really, really liked everything about it, but I realized it was actually much further, and it was going to put me farther out than I probably want to be from town, groceries, doctors, that kind of stuff. And then when we got home, I actually found another parcel of 8 acres. So that's why now we'll probably go back on June 25th to take a look at more land, because we're definitely in the mindset to do that. We're definitely looking to probably go a little bit more off grid than we had originally anticipated. Um, but we'll see. So I will keep you all updated on that. And I don't know why. The reason I jumped over there is because one of the pictures of the land that they were showing us, they had, a picture of it mapped out. They had close-ups of this and close-ups of that. And then in one picture, they showed this big hairy spider was a close-up picture of the hairy spider in in the middle of the land. And I'm like, okay, that's not a selling point for me, because I've already freaked out going, okay, are there going to be scorpions? Are there going to be snakes? In Arizona, they have rattlesnakes and all that. And my partner finally just goes, well, yeah, you'll have all of that moving out to the country. See, I'm okay with all those critters as long as those critters go and do what they need to do. But I don't want them around on my land. So I'm okay with them at the neighbors and all, and even on the outskirts of our land. I'm okay. I would feed them as long as they don't come within my boundaries, right? So interesting enough, one of the ladies at work was telling me, well, here they actually put like a chicken wire on your fence, and I think she said 3 foot up or 3.5 feet up, because that's as far as a rattlesnake can get. And so that actually does create a barrier where rattlesnakes can't get in, because it's a. And it's like, okay, now we've got to worry about rattlesnake fences. So it's like, okay, and then we're talking about wanting a couple of dogs. I'd love to have a dog. What I need is Mona's dog. Mona has the best dog ever. So I'm hoping maybe if we move down there in a few years, maybe we'll just doggy sit for Mona every occasionally. But I would like to have, and then I'm like, okay, so, and then he's like, well, we'll have to have a couple of cats, because the cats catch mice and that. Guys, I'm a city boy. You all need to understand, just moving to the country, I'm moving for specific reasons, that I want to get out and have some space and have some, but all this other stuff that comes with it, I'm not buying into some of that. I don't need all of that. So we'll see. Who else? Boyd Apparel and Designs is here. Thank you so much for jumping over and coming over to be here tonight. That means a lot. Very appreciated. Made by Misty's here. Ryan's here. Hey, Ryan, welcome in. Thanks for being with us this evening. Who else? I think I'm getting caught up, guys, again. Zaza says you don't want to be far from emergency services. Right, and that's my issue right now. Zaza says scorpions and snakes don't bother me, but spiders are a whole different ball game. Yeah, see, I can do the spiders before I can do the scorpions and snakes. It's just, I don't know. Brian says they need an electric snake fence. It's just, I don't know. Danielle says I'm with a heck no to all of those scorpion, snake, spiders. Yeah, I agree. Don't leave the gate open, Brian. All right, so what am I working on? I am working on the new quilt, quarter square stripes. It's 66 by 80. It goes with jelly strips. And so I actually, even though tonight's not an AccuQuilt night, it takes dark and light strips to make the panels for this. So because this one's going to be Christmas, I'm actually doing hunter green versus like a black. Ray used black with it, but I am using Kona's hunter green, and then I am using snow as part of it. And so those were the two like base colors. And then I decided while we were on the air tonight, I could probably sort out some light, mediums, and darks here to get me started. And this is a jelly roll from Moda, and it is called Snow Time, S-N-O-W, Snow Time. And I think it's going to be really cute, so I'm kind of excited about that. So lots of greens, lots of reds. And so I thought how cool that would give me something fun to work on tonight and not cause a lot of problems. So I don't think this is going to be enough strips to do exactly what I need to do, but we'll get a good start going tonight. So this finishes out, I think it makes pretty big squares, and it's got 4 by 5 squares when you finish out. And like I said, we'll give some of these away a little bit later. And yours will not say test pattern. When he actually took this original picture, he had the top done, but he did not have, had not had it long armed yet. And so I don't know. Like I said, they're down at the store. I was supposed to go down to the store and pick them up, and they've been there now 2 weeks. And I've not been in a position where we could get to the store to get those. So we shall see. All right, so let me get started on that. Let me read the directions a little bit so I know what I want. So that goes this way at the top, right? And we'll do maybe this one to start off with, and this one in the middle. How cool is that? All right, so let's get this started. So there's one. Brendan says, I'm staying in Kiwi land. We have some spiders, nothing serious, but nothing else, just birds, cows, and sheep. I don't blame you. Mona says, I've never seen snake fences. I have only seen a couple of snakes and 2 or 3 Scorpios on my property. Yeah, see, but I would only have to see one. I mean, that's when I yell like a girl. And I mean, I don't mean that to be offensive. I am just a big city boy. I'm telling you guys. Zaza said it's the same in Scotland, nothing that will try to kill you. The spiders won't do any damage. I'm just terrified of them. I understand. Believe me. Brian says, Brendan, start looking for property for me. Kiwi land sounds like heaven to me. Just volcanoes and earthquakes to worry about there. Oh, y'all killing me. What's the size of Anita's budget? Brian, come to Scotland. No earthquakes or volcanoes. I'd love to come to Scotland sometimes, guys. Brian, that would be a trip. We would have a blast. But we do have to stop over in England because I do have to see Harry Potter. Everybody goes, it sounds like Zaza wins. Leon Duncan, hello from Peoria, Arizona. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Coming to you live from Sun City West. Um, Always nice to have you in and joining us. So I am going to sort some fabrics as we talk tonight before I get to sewing. And hopefully we'll get some of the sewing done as well. But tell you what, I have got to get quilts going. So my partner will be working on Pat's Quilts of Valor this weekend because I've got to get those knocked out for her. I know she's beginning to wonder if she's ever going to get them like we promised. And we will. We will get those to her. So that's coming up soon. What else? That goes that way. And then we need one of these. Hmm. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun. So I tell you, there's been so much going on, and now that it's Christmas in July, everybody's posting and doing so much other stuff, and it's like, guys, I just can't keep up with what I'm doing right now. So I thought, you know what, John's going to do John, and we're just going to keep doing what we do, and we will tune in and watch. I bet Mona did what's got some cool things going on. I saw Sherry was on the other day, and I was like, wanted to catch her. Ended up missing that altogether. I've so far, I have not got to see one of the new Hallmark movies, which is very sad to me because I love my Hallmark channel. And so it's that time of year where I should be watching Hallmark and seeing what's going on there. And so I need to get caught up on that. So we will be making that happen soon. All right, goes here. Look at this. How cute are the snowmen in that on here? It's just like these are just awesome. So I really liked this jelly roll. So I only had to cut the hunter green and the white, and so that wasn't so bad. I would like to, maybe at some point, AccuQuilt will feel bad for me and make me an ambassador and help gift me some things. That's where, you want to get big enough where they'll gift things to you. And because I'd love to have their new Biggie die to cut out the 2.5 inch strips, but I'm like, not enough that I'm going to invest more money in it right now. So maybe we'll at some point become sponsored versus just an affiliate. And you know what? If we stay just an affiliate, that works for me too. So, because at least as an affiliate, I can still have my opinion and say what I want and do what I want. And I am not looking to have to change the way I report things out. And that is, I'm always going to be me. That's what somebody told me today. We were talking about at work today. Somebody said, like you tend to be really honest or you tend to be very blunt at times and blah, blah, blah. And I said, yeah, interesting enough, I had a boss several years ago, it's been a while now, that told me, he goes, before we hired you, we actually did we did a background check. And I actually talked to your boss, your current, who at the time would have been my current boss. And I was like, yeah, he told me that y'all talked. Because I've always had pretty good relationships with most of my bosses. And he said, yeah, he said, I asked him what one of your strengths was. And he said, one of John's biggest strengths is that he's very honest. And he said, okay. And so he said, we went on. And then I asked him what was one of John's um, biggest, not, I'm in HR, right? So we don't say weaknesses, we say development opportunities or blah, 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 right? And he goes, oh, that's easy. He said, John's very honest. And he goes, well, I don't see it as a strength and a weakness. And he goes, you haven't met John. So, ha 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 ha. But, the problem is don't ask me if you don't want to know. I think because I've worked in labor and that for so many years, I've dealt with unions and that. What I've learned and how I've gained respect with those groups is the fact that I'm very open and honest. And it used to be one of the companies I worked for, guys would come and ask me different things about what was going on in the organization. And sometimes I'd tell them, and sometimes I'd tell them, I can't, if I knew, and I'm not saying I don't know, that you should know better to even than to ask me, because if I do know, that would put me in a compromised position to share it. And they were like, yeah, but you'll never just tell us no outright. Like, I just don't understand why we lie to employees. It just, like employees aren't stupid. And we act like sometimes they are, or so. I don't know. It just always bothered me that we act silly about things versus just being honest and going, yeah, if there is something going on, I just can't tell you anyways. But I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's why being so open and honest can be a problem. All right, I keep going. So obviously we're going to sew some strips together once I get these sorted. And I thought it would be an opportunity tonight to sort these. Hope you like what we're doing on Thursday nights. I do try to mix it up a little bit. Next Thursday night, what is that supposed to be? Next Thursday night is AccuQuilt night. And I'm hoping to work on the new pattern that I have been writing and developing. And we shall see how that goes, but no promises because I was literally cutting strips tonight when I got home from work before I could jump on the live. So we'll see. This is going to end up being a really big quilt when it gets done. And that's fine. It's for my grandson. It's for his Christmas. My granddaughter's top is done. We just need to get stitching on it, and we will get that going pretty soon, and we will be all set. All right, let me jump back in the chat. Let's see what's happening over there. Sorry, I scrolled up too much. Danielle says, I will be wherever my children are. Crazy, you say, yes, but I don't want to miss them. Nope, I totally get that. I so miss my daughter. Um, we've always been just so close to that. I ended up moving out to Arizona because I did fall in love with Arizona, and there's a lot here that I like. It's an amazing state, offers and does so many different things, but I absolutely do miss being with her. And but at the same time, I truly needed a change, and that's how I ended up in Arizona. But I do miss being with my grandkids and all of that, but not enough that I'm ready to move back, if that makes sense. I would just give up so much here. We've talked about when I retire, does it make sense to go back to the East Coast and that? But I just like everything out here. Plus, I'd miss Mona. Then I wouldn't get to see Mona down in Tucson. So, and we've established our retreats and that. It's just funny. I had another registration come in this week because I didn't realize we hadn't turned the registrations off to say wait list. So I had to put them on the wait list, and they asked to be put on the wait list. So, it's nice to know those are taking off for us, that, we're making some headway as far as who we are in this crafting space and what that looks like. And so I just don't want to have to kind of like reestablish myself if I decided to move all the way back across the country. Plus, I don't know where I would go. She's in Virginia, and I can tell you, I have no desire to go back to Virginia. I lived in Virginia about 15 years. I loved Virginia. There was a lot of things very positive about Virginia. And Virginia has a lot going for it, but not enough that John would want to jump back in, head back over. So I don't know. We'll see. All right, I tend to get off on different things. Zaza says new Hallmark movies. I thought they were all the same, just different actor, successful person moves back to their hometown, meets the love of their life, blah 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 blah. Now, Zaza, you know better. There is always a relationship. They awkwardly meet. They awkwardly begin liking each other. Then they have a hate relationship. The next thing you know, they fall in love. And there are, just so you guys know, four new Hallmark movies. And yes, the first one was Christmas Under Construction. I missed that one. So I have Hallmark Channel Plus. I will go back and watch it sometime, probably this weekend. And then Oh Little Christmas Market is the new one coming out this weekend. So we will definitely be tuning in and seeing what that likes. And you have an amazing partner. And uh, Mona will vouch for him that he is amazing when he says, honey, did we miss a Hallmark movie? Because it's that time of year and I want to make sure. So he even enables me and watches the Hallmark movies with me. So that's when you know you found the right person, that he's even able to tolerate and put up with the Hallmark movies. However, the new Ryan Gosling movie, Hail Mary, is out on Amazon, and we absolutely have to watch that because it's Ryan Gosling. So as crazy as I didn't want to see Barbie, I still had to see Barbie because again, it was Ryan Gosling. So I don't know. All right, so let's see. Barbara says, "Hey, Barbara, welcome in." She says, "I love the calm of these lives." Oh, thank you. Most people think I'm a little too hyper at times, but I can't help it. It is what I is, and I do what it does. So we shall see. Barbara says, "I'm new here. I've listened to a number of these lives without commenting now because I really enjoy these live streams." Barbara, you have no idea, friend, how much that means to me. I appreciate that. I I try. I am very fortunate. I have an amazing YouTube family. I love my subscriber base, and I've made some awesome friends on here. I've got amazing moderators that work with me, and then I've got my specific channels that I follow in that. And so, but Barbara, that means a lot, and thank you so much for saying that. Um, oh, Candace is here. Hey, Candace, welcome in. Always good to see you. That means a lot. Oh, Deb, the Pug Mama Quilter's here. It's so funny. We were looking at I keep looking at dogs, right? Because I know I do want to get a dog when I retire, and been looking at pet insurance and looking at where the vet would be versus my doctors and all that craziness. And I was like, what about a pug? And my partner was like, no, we're not doing a pug. So I'm not sure what we'll end up doing. I think we do want a little bit bigger dog. He's used to more Or he's used to larger animals. Most of mine have been Bichons and those type of animals, and so I'm used to about 13, 15 pounds. I think he's used to having one that's a little bit heftier than that. So we'll see. I'm not sure where we will land or what that will look like, but I am sure we will figure it out. I am so in love right now for some reason with dachshunds and with wiener dogs. I have no idea how I got fixated on those, but I know they so many of those have back trouble in that, so I'm not sure that that's something that I want, especially out with acreage, and that if that just even makes sense for us. Come on. Who else? Oh, as I said, Hail Mary is meant to be very sad. Oh, I didn't realize that. I don't know, honestly, that I know the storyline all that well. Um, but I still would like to see it. But now I don't know that I want to see it. It's going to be sad. Yeah, I have enough sad in my life as it is, let me tell you. Sad is I didn't get to go to the quilt store the other day. Sad is I didn't get to spend some money. Yeah. And I hope you all got to see. I did get to go quilt shopping the other day in Tucson. Ended up meeting some really amazing ladies down at Custom Quilt Shop in Green Valley. They could not have been nicer. My friend Mona um, referenced me, told me that that's where I needed to go. We actually went to three different ones down in Tucson, but that was absolutely by far my favorite. And of course, I had to drop Mona's name, and they just laughed. They said, "Oh yeah, yeah, we know Mona." And then one of the ladies goes, "But like her quilt took first place, and did you get to see it?" And I was like, "I got to see it when it was under construction, so even better." So it was very cool. All right, now I'm running out. Okay, I don't have enough. So it looks like we've put together tonight what John can do. John's going to have to cut some more strips because I don't have enough variety left to finish out what I need to, and that's fine. Um, so now John can actually sew. You all might actually get to see a needle go up and down on the machine. How cool would that be? That's something I tell you, this week has been so crazy with working that I have not sewn. Um, my partner asked me the other day, he goes, "Are you not going to go sew?" And I said, "No, I'm going to go in and sit in front of the TV and just veg out. I am just exhausted from work." And yeah, I think we all have those moments in those days. And I firmly believe you need to do what your body needs. And we need to pay more attention in listening to what our body wants to do, and not push ourselves when we don't need to push ourselves. And I want to enjoy when I come in, sit down here. If I'm talking to you all, if I'm watching Danielle, if I'm watching Mona Did What, that's what I want to do. I want to be able to just enjoy what's happening, what's going on. So, all right, let's see what else. Gosh, guys, I'm way behind in the chat. Zaza says, get a basset hound, John. Best of both. Big dog, but low to the ground. Yeah, see, because one of the things I want to is um, I want a short haired dog because I'm used to having non shedding dogs. And so I want to make sure of that. I want something big enough that it can go out and kind of take care of itself. Although I'm used to having house dogs. So it's not like they're going to be outside dogs. But at the same time, I want to, because we were driving around and he goes, "Oh, it looks like those are falcons or vultures or something over there." And I'm like, "Really? Really? Like, I don't think you understand that's not a selling point for me, some of this craziness that he comes up with." But he grew up on a farm. So, for him, some of this just doesn't seem, like he just thinks that's natural. And it's like, that's not natural. We don't have those things in the city and we don't talk about things like that. And so we'll see. All right, let's get this first one done and see what this is going to look like. Probably should oil this machine. But you know what? It's a Juki, and that's the nice thing about the Juki. It just sews forever. Although I will tell you guys, I've been playing with the Janome M8 Continental, and I'm so in love with that machine. But I'm not buying a new machine right now. But if I had to give up Hercules back here, it would probably be for that Janome. Um, but if anything, we're waiting to see if they have a red tag sale at Christmas like they did last year, where they gave another machine away with it. But I don't know, it's so crazy. Um, but I love that it's got the Sashiko and that on that machine, along with a bunch of other things. And I'm looking for the machine that I'm going to retire with. But the problem is, I love my Jukis and I love this straight stitch machine. It just barrels through. It just gets things done. And it's like it's just hard to think that what am I gaining really, right? All right, let me look. All right, guys, come on. Let me find my little ruler to make sure that John has this set at 1/4 of an inch. Might help if John had to take a little measuring set. Look at that. That's like dead on. It's so awesome. Guys, you don't know how long I've struggled to get to a 1/4 inch. I began to wonder. I thought it was always elusive and I would never, ever get anything that had a 1/4 inch. I was like, I was almost to the point that I just didn't understand how you people ever made that happen because I just struggled so much with it. All right, let's see. I'm gonna put this over here. It's over here. All right, let me set up a little bit because I do have to iron as I go through. So let me sort this out a little bit so I can uncover my ironing board. I will tell you, one of the things that has really just gotten on my nerves this week is I have stuff stacked everywhere. I have yet to put anything away from being at the beach, being on vacation, all of that stuff. So my cutting table is covered. I have another stand over there that is supposed to do sorting out of scraps and that. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. My God, I have 7 new bolts sitting on it. Then I have my ironing station, and if that camera worked, I would show you. I have 3 more bolts sitting on it. It's like, guys, I have just got to one day stop and just put things away, but then I have yet to do that, so we'll figure out how that's going to happen and when that's going to happen. But we'll see. All right, let me get this cleaned up a little bit so then we can actually iron tonight. So again, I'm working on the new quilt from Ray. Three Dudes Quilting is where he's at. It is called Quarter Square Stripes. I really, really, really do like this pattern. We'll give a few away in just a little bit tonight to get things going. I will tell you they will not go out in the mail till Monday because it will be Saturday before I get to the store to pick those up. And then once I pick those up, it'll be too late to get them in the mail for me to get home, get them in the envelope, and do everything I need to do. So it'll be Monday before they actually go out. But you know what? It's always fun to get Happy Mail, right? I love my Happy Mail. I'm excited because Villa Rosa just sent me a notice that I've got my new patterns coming from them because, you know, Lord have mercy, I don't have enough patterns, as you all know. So I've got their new stack coming, and they told me they had 2 add-ons this month, I think, on top of the 5 patterns I'm getting. And then, then I've got my new Pink Door subscription coming. So how awesome is that? I love my pink door. I have yet to start that Hosta pattern. I think it's going to be so cool when I get there. But I'm still struggling just to kind of keep up with Elizabeth Hartman's pattern, but we'll get kept up with it. All right, let's see what else. Hey, Katrina, welcome in. Thanks for being here. Dachshunds are one of the dogs most likely to bite their owners. Oh, I did not know that. And I can tell you, if I had one, it would absolutely bite my daughter if she ever visited me. She was bit like 3 or 4 times as a kid, and it's just kind of funny. They ended up just getting a new dog, which is an amazing, sweet golden doodle, I think is what she got. But the fact that she even has a dog is just like amazing because she did. She really struggled with dogs growing up. All right, I just put that other. I was like, wonder why these strips are sitting out like this, not realizing they're the other 2 strips I need to finish out that piece. So, John, what did you do with those? They're down there. Okay. Here they are. See, guys, I'm telling you, I am just not the elevator's not hitting the penthouse this week. It's been that kind of week. Who else is on the chat? Let's see what else. I feel like I'm so far behind, guys. Sorry. Brian goes, you need a dog. It's good at stopping the snakes. Amen. I fully support that. Nanette's here. Hey, Nanette, welcome in. Thanks for being with us this afternoon. Oh, Mona said stay. She sent us a get hydrated, right? It really is, guys. If you all are not focused on hydration right now in this heat, you better be. It's just so interesting. It's just so easy to. And the problem is when you realize you're dehydrated, it's too late. You've let it go too far. Danielle says, couch potato is what I'm doing tonight. Amen. Look at Brendan says it's all about self-care. It really is. I think we, at least my generation was raised to a degree to believe that's a bad thing, right? Because we're supposed to have this great work ethic and this great blah, blah, blah. You can have all of that, but none of it is any good if you're not taking care of yourself. And, for me to be able to have a strong relationship with an amazing partner means I have to take care of John too, right? I mean, if I'm not in the best place and doing the right thing and blah, I'm not going to be able to do what I need to do on that side. And so it's about finding the balance, about making sure that we take care of ourselves, so that we can be there for others and do things. I mean, he does a lot for me. He's got the garden that he fools with and all that kind of stuff. He supports the channel. He came in tonight to make sure my cameras were going to work and not frustrate me. All of that kind of stuff. And at the retreats, he's my go-to guy, right? He's the one who takes care of all the meals, does all the cleanup, just does that stuff and never complains, never says a word about it. And that's what he sees as his function, his role. And I am so fortunate to have him. But at the same time, I've got to tell him, you're tired. Go take a nap. You need to go do this. Like again, it's about self care. And I think sometimes we've been taught almost that that's like a bad thing, and it's not. I mean, we should all want to take care of ourselves. Um, Oh, Katrina says, I had a basset and loved her dearly. Zaza says, I love my Janome. Yeah, there's just something. I don't know what's attracting me to that machine. I need another machine like I need a hole in my head. I actually looked at Brother and a couple others, and I need to just quit looking. It's not like I need another machine, but there's just something about that Janome, and I'm like, I would really like to have like that machine before I retire. So we'll see. Lord only knows. Maud belonged my dad's cousin. We adopted her when he went in the nursing home. She was spoiled rotten. Guys, I hate to tell you, but I believed in two things. I believed I spoiled my children and I spoiled my dogs. Now, my children will say I spoiled the dogs more than I spoiled them, but the dogs also gave me less trouble than my children did. But I don't know. Life's too short. I'm going to spoil my kids. I spoil my grandkids. I have amazing grandchildren. They love me. They call me Papa John. Um, and it's always fun just being with, but I just want to, life's too short. I want them to grow up and be good people, right? And do the things that they're supposed to do. But at the same time, they're kids, and I do think sometimes we forget that they're kids, and we don't let kids just be kids. And there's nothing wrong with that. Kids need to be kids. My kids were awesome. I could take my kids anywhere out in public, and my kids knew how to behave in public. They also knew if they didn't, I would kill them. And I had a lady at church one day told me I should never say that, um, but my children knew I loved them. And but my kids were great in public and at home. I didn't care if they tore the four walls down because I did accept that at times they needed to be kids, right? And I was okay with that as long as they knew the difference and they knew how to be out in public and be around people. All right, I'm hoping to get this sewn. And I can at least show you one strip tonight before we get done. Gosh, guys, my time goes really fast. I feel like it's late for you East Coasters, and that means a lot that you all join from the East Coast still and put up with me on a Thursday night. I have no idea what time it is in Scotland. Brendan is just having his day. How cool he's got a holiday. We don't have enough holidays anymore. The federal government seems to get the employers over here don't keep up with the federal holidays. I think it's so funny. It's like the federal employees get all these holidays, and it's like, that's wonderful because let me tell you, for-profit businesses aren't keeping up with those holidays for sure. Let's see. All right, one more, and this first strip will be done. Brendan says a golden doodle would be a great dog for you, big enough to go outside, small enough for. Yeah, but the problem is they have to be groomed, and I don't know that I want to deal with grooming. Katrina says I have to make a small quilt for church members, grand, 3-year-olds, and swallowed a squishy toy. The family is doing mission work in Indonesia. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Brian says that sounds like drinking. When you feel drunk, it's too late. Yeah, I'll have to plead the fifth on that one, right? How crazy. We've all had our days of being around. Truth about dehydration. Yeah, it's just crazy out here. I was so shocked. We have a new person at work that actually went to the doctor because their skin is so dry and they just weren't feeling good. And the doctor goes, "Yeah, welcome to Arizona. So whatever your intake you thought was, you need to like probably double that or triple it, and you need to start using lotion." So I have used more lotion than I ever thought I would in my life. I keep lotion everywhere, and my favorite is the Beekman Boys out of New York, and I use their goat milk lotion. I do buy some from Bath and Body Works, some, but I really do like my Beekman goat milk. And yes, I buy it from that Big Q place because I usually find better bargains there. And plus, I get 3 months, 6 months, whatever to pay for it. And so that always helps the budget go a little bit further. But yeah, I never thought I would use so much lotion in my life. And somebody told me too, because we sew and we're always touching fabric, that also keeps our hands dried out so much. And I had no idea about that. You know, it's just like everything you do has an impact, right? So you just don't realize it's like, okay, well, yeah, so sewing does make a difference. And yes, it makes sense that it's going to get the oil from your hands and all of that. So again, more. Let's see how this is turning out. Always cracks me up how you've got these jelly strips. They're all supposed to be like 43 inches or whatever with salvages, and none of them ever line up. Like, so always nothing close. I think this is going to be really cool because this is meant to be his forever Christmas quilt that he will grow up with. My daughter said that grandkids absolutely love their Halloween quilts and that they can't wait every year to get their Halloween quilts out. I still have the Halloween quilt that I'm working on. That my blanket or my quilt is a ghost or whatever. I need to get that done. I've got the top done. He needs to quilt them, and then I need to get um, the eyes and that on there. So to finish out, but look, this is going to be, oh, what camera am I on? This is going to be pretty cute when it gets done. So I'm anxious to see what those turn out like. All right, let me jump over and let's give a couple of patterns away tonight. So, all right, John, where are we at? All right, I need to go to Nightbot real quick and set this up. Maud is a fabulous name for a dog. My 2-year-old ago missed them terribly. The house is not the same without the hounds. It's, it is not. There's no, if you've had dogs, there's nothing like coming home to a house. Yeah, dogs are always so excited and welcoming, right? And so not to have them is crazy. All right, let's go here, here. Let's change this from sticker. We'll make it easy. All right, guys. If you want to get in the drawing tonight, I'll give 2 away of Ray Steve's pattern. And if I could find it, I show it to you one more time from 3 Dudes Quilting. It does finish out 66 by 80 inches. It is called, I think he did finish on quarter square stripes. It really is, guys, I'm telling you, a cute panel, cute quilt. It goes together so magnificently quick. Oh my gosh, quick. So it's a pretty fast quilt to put together. If you enter exclamation point jelly, Jelly, we will get that. We will get you entered into the drawing for a free pattern, and I will get those dropped into the mail for you on Monday. Ms. Brenda, when choosing a new dog, you should meet the people that raised them and be able to see both parents or at least photographs of the dad. Yeah, it does, right? The temperament of the dogs just makes such a difference. It's just crazy. Oh, Barbara says East Coast loves you. Thank you. Girl, that means a lot. It really does. Oh, Zaza says time for bed. Good night, everyone. Good night, Zaza. I agree with Danielle. It's so funny. I've gone to litters. We've played with a few other dogs and that, and it's usually the one that wanders over and lays in my lap. That's the one that we usually end up taking home. Mm. Today is our newest holiday in New Zealand, Manawatia. Translates to Happy Maori New Year, making the rise of the star cluster in the midwinter sky. All right, so I'm going to have to copy all of that and put it in Google Translate and make it read it to me. I have no idea. We are very lucky with the number of public holidays we get here. It's just crazy. Deb says it's my bewitching time. I understand that. All right, let's jump over and give the first pattern away. We find. All right, choose a winner. Boom. Alioni is the winner. How awesome is that? So, congrats. So, you won a copy of Ray's pattern. Like I said, I do have to pick those up Saturday, so it'll be Monday before I get them into the mail. Scrolling, hopefully, at the bottom of your screen, you'll see my email, John, John, at guyscraft2. And if you send me your address, I will get that dropped into the mail for you the first of the week. So congratulations. I am so excited for you. Brandon says gorgeous colors, Johns. Thank you. I'm excited. I think it's gonna be cool. Candace goes, my cats could care less if I'm home as long as they have a feeling. I don't know. I can tell you the last puppy I had, he was excuse me, guys. He was so spoiled rotten. He liked to be wherever I was. He did never wanted to lay on my lap or beside me. He got too hot too quick, but he had to have his paw or head on me. If my feet were on the floor, he usually laid at my feet and always had his head on me, or different places, different things going on, he would just reach over and lay his paw on me. It just used to crack me up. He just always had to have a physical touch. So it was just a matter of how he made that touch work. All right, gave one pattern away. Let's give a second away. And guys, if you all show Ray some love sometime, that is great. Just let him know you've heard about him from here, because it was super, super nice that he gave me several of these patterns to give away. And the second one goes to, oh, look at that, Mr. Quilter, Mr. Brendan. So how awesome is that? So we will get that, and you will get a big international sticker that has a poinsettia on it. Don't ask me why, but when I bought international stickers, that's I only had like two choices, and I ended up buying the ones with poinsettias because I didn't know what else to buy. So that is awesome, because I know Brendan needs another pattern to work on because he's got a few things going. So that's awesome. So, guys, I appreciate that we've got to be here together tonight. It means a lot that you all drop in and let me rattle on from the week. We have a lot coming up this weekend. Sunday, I have no idea what I'm going to be working on Sunday. I hopefully maybe we'll be working on this quilt a little bit. Hopefully, I will get some of the other stuff put away. He's got so much long arming to do, but I do have to get the 2 quilts of valor done for Pat, so we have those going. I am doing AccuQuilt next week on cutting up and piecing out. So if you're going to be here next Thursday, we will be specifically talking about AccuQuilt and what that looks like and what that means. So when you do that, bring your questions, right? So I do have a quilt pattern that I am working on. I will probably gift that if you all are interested. I'll probably put it as a PDF so you can download it. I have not tested the pattern yet. I have literally just been playing with it. So I do want to at least get through the first one myself. And once I do, put it out there for you all if you would like to have a copy of that. But we'll be talking a lot about AccuQuilt, what AccuQuilt means and how I'm using it and what that looks like. But that's next Thursday. Again, I'm an affiliate for AccuQuilt. I'm not an ambassador. I'm not sponsored. And I have bought and paid for every die that I own. So they have not gifted me anything, and that's fine. I buy what I want and I buy what I like, and I am always brutally honest about that as well. So, guys, I appreciate you all being here. Hey, Maureen, thanks for being here tonight. And I appreciate you giving me the time in that. It means a lot to me. And as always, guys, until next time, happy crafting.